Good afternoon, League Racers. This week we're at Bathurst, Mount Panorama in Australia, the most iconic racing track that there is for the V8 supercar. It's a track that everyone really anticipates coming to and driving the supercar quickly around the track. This weekend we're going to be racing in a late afternoon shift for the main race. The weather that this hot lap is created in is clear, 73 degrees with a relative humidity of 29, track temperature of 81, and the winds are northeast at 9 miles per hour. We'll go through the lap corner by corner. I'll give you my perspective on it. It's not necessarily the fastest out there, but it's a good representation of a quick lap. Lap times here will range anywhere from 203 in extremely good weather in the hands of a capable driver to 207, 208, 209 for weather that is maybe a little bit on the warmer side. But right here, this lap is going to be a 205.6. And if you can get into the 207 to 210 range, you're doing fairly well. Now, one thing I will say about Mount Panorama is that it's unforgiving, and the walls here very easily lead to some significant damage to the steering and or the front end radiator. So the trick for the race this weekend is to keep it clean, keep it off the wall, do good steady laps, and be consistent throughout. If you do that and you're not spending time in the pits waiting for repairs, you'll do very well and you'll be rewarded with a top 5 finish. So we're going to go through the lap corner by corner, and then we'll do a full lap where you can see it uninterrupted. So we're just approaching the 100-yard marker just past the start-finish line, and you'll see that I'll be applying the brakes just about at the 100-yard marker. This is a second gear corner. You want to try and get a good exit here as there's a long straight right after this. We want to carry some speed. So we're approaching the peddler's sign. There's a bit of a dip after this. Be careful on the left-hand side. The road dips away a bit more than on the right, and the rear end of the car can become a little bit unstable. Keep your foot in it and maybe stay a little bit more to the right than to the left as the car can get unsettled. We're going to stay in 5th gear at the end of the straight, and we're going to downshift to 3rd for this first corner. So we just passed the 100-yard marker. We're braking very heavily in here, and it is important to try and carry speed through the corner. So brake heavily, try and keep it in 3rd gear if you can. Second, it can be used. I just try and avoid downshifting that much in this particular area and try and carry the speed going back up the hill. So quick upshift to 4th and then almost back down to 3rd as we enter the first of 2 left-handers. This first one's a little bit more gentle. The second one is a 90-degree uphill corner. I tend to keep it in fairly tight here. However, an alternative line is to be a little bit farther to the right-hand side of the track, widen that arc a little bit, and carry through that way. I want to be careful here on exit. On the right-hand side, there's a slight dip as we're hitting the crest there, and it will unsettle the car. I tend to shift to 3rd early here and feather in the throttle as I go over that particular part of the track. And again here, we're in third gear. We'll be upshifting to fourth gear. I try and keep it in fairly tight here. The car can get a little unsettled, but as you learn this track and you go through it, you'll know exactly where that happens and be able to compensate for it. So again, we're feathering the throttle through here, and we're trying to make sure that we don't hit the wall either on the inside here on the right hand side or on exit on the left hand side. So here you can see I'm full throttle, and this next section really flows quite nicely. So it's important to watch this section and perhaps repeat it 2 or 3 times so that you can see the flow. We're going to clip the apex, let the car drift out to the wall, back clip the apex, and again up against the wall. Don't be surprised if you clip the wall a few times as you're learning this section. It does take a lot of practice, and it is important that you're able to repeat that through the race in order to avoid any damage. This is the most dangerous section in the entire course. And right here, we're just reaching the crest of this hill. We're aiming for the extreme inside on the left, and we're going to grab the curb so that we don't drift out too far to the right on exit. And here we're going to start our descent to the mountain. We're in fourth gear. We'll be downshifting to third and second to get to the dipper. Very important to watch where you're driving here. It's very easy to get the car upset. There's a curb just over the hill that will appear. You have to stay to the right hand side. If you do hit that curb, it can upset the car and you have to be careful. And we need to stay off the walls. Right here we're going to be close to the inside wall on the right hand side. We have to be careful not to drift out. If we do, it really messes up the next corner, which is the dip. Can't carry too much speed there, otherwise you're going to end up in the Cooper's sign. Again, better to be a little bit reserved in that particular area and get through this section without touching the walls and carry on. So we carried third gear through that section, and for this corner, I always use first gear. It can be done in second gear. You can carry a little bit more speed through here. However, for myself, for my personal type of driving style, using first gear, that helps me turn in a little bit better and keep it in close to the left-hand side and not drift out into that far wall. The 200 to 150 yard marker right in there. This is very, very heavy braking, and we're going to downshift into second gear into the left-hander. It can be done in third gear as well. It just depends on how much speed you're carrying, and second gear will help you turn in a little bit easier. You can see I took a little bit of curb there. You have to be careful not to take too much. It can upset the car. And here on exit, you can take some curb as well. Be careful that you don't get too far outside to the grass. It can spin you around, but you can take a little bit if you need to. Just just in between the 100 and the 150 yard marker there. We're just starting to brake again, fairly heavy braking. We're going to shift down into second gear, and be careful of the curb on the left hand side. That curb can upset the car significantly. And that's our lap at 205.607. We're going to go back and rerun the lap uninterrupted this time, and so you can see the actual lap in its entirety. There we have a lap of Bathurst. Looking forward to racing with you this weekend. The setup for this particular lap will be attached to the forum post. And good luck. Take care.